Well, good morning, my poppy seed muffins. Did you know I used to teach a workshop? It's true. Can you guess what I would teach high school kids, middle school kids, even some college kids? Can you guess? Mime. Yes, I would teach pantomime. Oh, poor Lucy's back there. She has a bit of a cold, so she's kind of stuffy. So if you hear some wheezes, it's not me, it's her. Mime. Both I would do these workshops by myself, and I would also do them with my good friend. Now, what made these workshops so much better than all the other theater workshops that you've ever done before? This is extremely interactive. It doesn't require any props, obviously. With Mime, you come up with your own props out of the blue, which is interesting. Wouldn't you say that pantomime is one of the more challenging, that is, like it challenges your creativity because it forces you to come up with props out of thin air. You can't just rely off of a cup on the table or a real wall in front of you. You have to create them. And now she's singing to you. This, I believe, oh, that's the chorus. La 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 la. Oh, and that's the third verse. She'll continue. Well, these mime workshops we did. Oh boy, we first started over in Spokane. There was this big theater fair, and they called us up and said, "Hey, you guys are mimes. You guys want to teach a mime workshop?" We're like, we just mime on the streets. We haven't really taught this stuff before, per se. That is, we teach it to ourselves, but not to a room full of 30 or 40 people, let alone kids. But we took on the opportunity nonetheless, and it was so worth it. And from then on, I've taught, oh boy, I lost count how many workshops I've taught. But we walk them through how to establish an illusion. An illusion is what I referred to as earlier, creating a prop out of thin air. So let me give you an example. A cup, that would be an illusion. The wall, that would be another illusion. A rope, that would be another illusion. Basically anything that you come up with out of thin air, that is an illusion. And of course the sky is the limit for creating whatever you'd like. There are some more abstract things that are pretty difficult to mime, like democracy. Thank you, Daniel Walters, for challenging us to mime that. Democracy. I actually did successfully mime democracy at one point. I basically broke down the word demon, and then I think it was crap, and then sea. Demon crap sea. It was a real stretch, but they eventually got it, believe it or not. Wow. So we'd start with the illusions and how to do these things. And some of these kids were so creative. And that's what makes teaching mime so much fun, because everybody draws off of their own experiences and they think to themselves, wow, I had a Pop-Tart for breakfast. And no one else in the room had Pop-Tarts for breakfast. But that person did. And so that comes to mind. And so they mime it. And you're like, wow, that's a Pop-Tart. That's incredible. Oh, wow. So how do you create an illusion? It's very simple. 3 simple steps. Wind up, snap, release. Wow, I can't believe I'm doing this in a car. Don't worry, I'm driving very safely. The wind up is the exaggerated, well, wind up. And then the snap is when you actually establish the shape of the illusion, and then the release. So with a cup, it would be wind up, snap, and then you can do whatever you'd like with it, and then release. And all of them are kind of exaggerated. And what helps exaggerate mime, can you guess? Gloves! That's right. Because with gloves, they're bright white. And as you can see with my hands, they sort of blend in with the rest of my arm. It's kind of all the same color. But when you have bright white gloves on, it makes your hands pop. And so that the audience's eye is drawn to it. So whether they're 5 feet away, 30 feet away, or even 50 feet away, they can see what you are establishing because you have these bright white flares attached to your palms. Isn't that so interesting? The whole attire to the mime, I could go on and on about how each of the things, even down to the stripes and the suspenders, the makeup, it all has a purpose. And I was originally taught this information by JJ. He was a very good friend of mine back in college. And we did theater together, and he did a lot of mime. And I had no idea. I had never done mime. The closest thing to pantomime was, you know, in the Animaniacs, it was it was really morbid. This cartoon mime would do things, and usually it would involve death or something very depressing of some kind. What I came to find out was mime is very morbid. It's like a cartoon. You know, when Wile E. Coyote is chasing the Roadrunner, you don't think twice when Wile E. Coyote blows himself up, and he or he runs off a cliff and he stops there and then he falls. You're like, ah, whatever, it's a cartoon character. In the same way with mime, you can, as a matter of fact, in one of these workshops, actually all of the workshops, we played a favorite game of ours, which was you take turns killing your partner. That's right, we taught high school kids how to kill each other. That's awful. But again, it's very cartoony. So let's say, for example, I'm going up against Matt, and he pulls a sword out of his pants and he slices off my arm. I fake like my arm is chopped off, and then I maybe mime spurting blood coming out. And then I'm like all offended, like, look what you just did to me. So I reach down, pick up the arm and stick it back on me, and then we continue fighting. And then it's my turn to kill or maim him. Isn't that interesting? So you can see how, wow, by its very nature, this is very morbid and very violent. But really, I could see how this could be wildly entertaining and so much fun to watch. You okay, Lucy? She's got her thumb. You'll notice that whenever Lucy has her thumb, her pinky sticks out, she's very proper. Very, very proper. So that's a little bit about mime and a few of the workshops that we've done. Again, I could go on for hours, but I won't about pantomime. It is such a fun sport. Sorry, there's an ambulance up ahead and someone is going to stop. Even though you don't need to stop, because there's like, oh, and the guy's gonna pass everybody. Thanks, guy. Okay, I'm gonna go now.